foreign policy advisor to the Obama campaign. So Russia, Iran, Turkey, they meet in Moscow. The United States isn't invited. What does that tell us?
Well, you know, the United States should not have been there. What we have here is sort of an axis of strongmen meeting to decide what's going to happen in Syria. Putin, the authoritarian regime of Iran, and now Erdogan from Turkey. Their objectives in Syria are very different from the U.S. objective. Russia, in particular, is trying to prop up the Assad regime. Assad is a war criminal. We just saw some, great video of Aleppo. Aleppo has been destroyed. So many people have been killed in Aleppo. We have almost 500,000 civilians killed in Syria overall. And Russia and Iran have some culpability for this. It's frightening that now Turkey may be cooperating with Russia and Iran. Erdogan has softened his position on President Assad and Assad needing to go. But the U.S. has maintained its policy, which is that Assad has to go. That's the smarter solution for Syria. It's really the only solution for Syria. Assad must step down, and then there has to be a political resolution in Syria in order to stop the fighting.
And David, you have some thoughts on how this relationship will change when President Trump gets into office?
Well, that's right. I mean, Trump has praised Russia for doing bombings in Syria, even though the human rights organizations that are observing the bombings and have information from the ground show that most of these bombings are killing civilians, and in some cases they're killing the U.S.-backed rebels, the moderate rebels who the U.S. is backing. And yet Trump has said that that's a positive thing. It's not a positive thing, and I fear that Trump may align with these other three powers that just met in Moscow, Russia, Iran, and Turkey. Were that to happen, it would be a devastating consequence for Syria.
All right, David, I'm going to thank you. Thanks for being here tonight, David Tafuri.
Thank you.
All right, here with more on that, Dana Perino, the former White House press secretary under President George W. Bush and co-host of The Five. First, your reaction to David's thoughts.
Well, I think that all sounds very good, but what we've had a lot of is that it's a lot of sound. And maybe we shouldn't have been